unveiling the secrets of the celestial weapon. A hero's journey to defeat demons. In the quiet town of Ravenswood, nestled deep within a dense, ancient forest, a sinister legend whispered through the chilling winds. Locals spoke in hushed tones of a malevolent demon known as Malgrith the Soul Devourer, a creature so terrifying that even the bravest souls dared not utter its name after dark. The tale began centuries ago when a powerful sorcerer named Eldrick sought forbidden knowledge. His lust for dark magic led him to a cursed tome hidden in the depths of the forest, bound in human flesh and inscribed in blood. With each incantation, Eldrick grew more powerful, but he also attracted the attention of something far more sinister. One fateful night, as Eldrick delved deeper into the forbidden arts, he inadvertently summoned Malgrith from the abyss. The demon, cloaked in shadows and wreathed in eerie, green flames, emerged from a swirling portal. Its eyes, like blazing emeralds, bore into Eldrick's very soul, and its voice, a chilling whisper, promised him unimaginable power in exchange for servitude. Eldrick, driven by his insatiable hunger for power, accepted the pact. In return, he was granted unparalleled magic, but at a terrible price. Malgrith marked him with a cursed sigil, a writhing serpent that slithered beneath his skin, causing excruciating pain and torment. It served as a constant reminder of his dark bargain. Soon, Ravenswood fell under a sinister veil of darkness. Crops withered, rivers ran black, and the forest itself seemed to come alive, twisting into grotesque shapes. People disappeared without a trace, their souls devoured by Malgrith to sustain its malevolent existence. Eldrick's once human form warped into a wretched creature, neither living nor dead, bound eternally to serve his demonic master. The town's desperate cries for help reached the ears of a group of fearless adventurers. Armed with holy relics and the knowledge of ancient rituals, they ventured into the cursed forest. As they delved deeper, they encountered Eldrick, now a ghastly amalgamation of flesh and bone, forever bound to Malgrith. A fierce battle ensued. The adventurers chanted incantations and wielded sacred weapons against the demon. But Malgrith was a relentless, unholy force, its green flames scorching the earth as it summoned otherworldly horrors to defend itself. In the end, it was the bravery and unity of the adventurers that prevailed. They managed to weaken Malgrith's power, severing its connection to Eldrick and banishing the demon back to the abyss. Eldrick, his soul forever scarred by his choices, was left to wander the forest, a tragic reminder of the horrors that had befallen Ravenswood. To this day, the legend of Malgrith the Soul Devourer lives on as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the pursuit of power at any cost can unleash unimaginable horrors upon the world. Decades passed, and the once cursed town of Ravenswood slowly began to heal. The forest, which had once been twisted and malevolent, gradually regained its natural beauty, and the people who had survived the darkest days found solace in the return of peace. Yet, the memory of Malgrith and Eldrick lingered, a haunting spectre that cast a long shadow over Ravenswood. Eldrick, still trapped in his tortured existence, became a figure of dread and pity. Some believed he had become a guardian of the forest, a ghostly sentinel watching over the woods to ensure that the demon would never return. Others thought he was a harbinger of doom, an omen that warned against dabbling in the forbidden arts. Over the years, a small sect of scholars and mystics emerged in Ravenswood, dedicated to studying the events of the past and safeguarding the knowledge of the dark arts. They believed that understanding the depths of evil was the only way to protect their town from a resurgence of malevolence. One night, as a group of these scholars delved deeper into their research, they uncovered a fragment of the same cursed tome that had ensnared Eldrick. Bound by their insatiable curiosity, they began deciphering its forbidden secrets, unaware of the terrible consequences they would unleash. The ancient incantations they chanted drew the attention of a new, even more malevolent entity, a being older and more powerful than Malgrith itself. It emerged from the shadows, its form a grotesque fusion of shadow and fire. This entity was Lethrakar, the Dark Lord of Torment. Lethrakar, seeing an opportunity to wreak havoc and spread suffering, offered the scholars unimaginable knowledge and power. But unlike Eldrick, they had heard the legend of Malgrith, and they knew the price of such dark bargains. Instead of accepting the offer, they summoned all their courage and knowledge to counter the dark entity. A fierce battle of wills raged in the depths of their minds. The scholars wielded the knowledge they had gained from their research into forbidden lore, weaving protective spells and drawing upon the strength of their bonds with each other. Lethrakar, however, was relentless, using its immense power to twist their perceptions and fuel their darkest fears. As the battle raged on, the forest itself seemed to come alive, its trees and creatures lending their energy to aid the scholars. In a climactic moment, they unleashed a final, desperate incantation that bound Lethrakar within the fragment of the cursed tome. The forest fell silent, the malevolent presence vanquished once more. The scholars, their minds and bodies scarred by the encounter, vowed to safeguard the fragment and the knowledge they had gained. They became guardians of the town, teaching future generations the importance of respecting the balance between light and darkness. Ravenswood endured, its people forever watchful of the forest's secrets. And so, the story of the horrific demons of Ravenswood continued, reminding all who heard it that the pursuit of forbidden power always came at a price, and that vigilance against the darkness was a duty that could never be forgotten. As the years passed, the people of Ravenswood grew ever more vigilant, determined to protect their town from the forces of darkness. Yet, the legends of Malgrith and Lethrakar remained only as tales of the past, and the horrors they had faced began to fade into obscurity. Unbeknownst to the inhabitants of Ravenswood, a new and far more sinister force had begun to stir in the depths of the ancient forest. This entity was known as Corthel, the king demon of the abyss. Corthel was no ordinary demon. He was a malevolent being of immense power, a ruler of the netherworld with a thirst for dominion over both the mortal realm and the spiritual realms beyond. Corthel's awakening sent ripples of dread throughout the forest. The once lush trees withered, and the very air grew thick with an ominous presence. Animals fled in terror, and the townsfolk began to notice strange occurrences: disappearing livestock, eerie whispers in the night, and bizarre, nightmarish dreams that seem to bridge the gap between reality and the surreal. Ravenswood was once again on the brink of a nightmarish descent into darkness. Word of the looming threat reached the descendants of the scholars who had previously faced Malgrith and Lethrakar. These new guardians of Ravenswood recognized the signs of a demonic resurgence and knew that they had to act swiftly to protect their town. Armed with the knowledge passed down through generations and the fragments of the cursed tome that contained the imprisoned Lethrakar, they began a desperate quest to uncover the secrets needed to confront Corthel. Their journey led them to the heart of the forest, where ancient and forbidden knowledge lay hidden. They encountered eerie creatures and underwent terrifying trials, but their determination and unity proved stronger than the malevolence that sought to thwart them. Guided by visions and ancient texts, they discovered a ritual of great power, one that could bind Corthel and sever his connection to the mortal world. However, the cost of performing this ritual was steep, for it required a great sacrifice, one of their own. With heavy hearts, the Guardians returned to Ravenswood and shared their findings with the townspeople. Together, they made a solemn decision. One among them would willingly offer themselves as the sacrifice to perform the ritual and save their town from Corthel's impending darkness. As the moon hung low in the night sky, casting an eerie, silver glow over Ravenswood, the chosen guardian stepped forward, knowing that they would face a fate worse than death. With ancient incantations and a binding circle of protection, they began the ritual to confront Corthel. The forest trembled, and the very ground seemed to rebel against their actions. Corthel, sensing the threat, descended upon them in a vortex of shadow and fire, his eyes blazing with infernal fury. The Guardian, standing resolute within the protective circle, bore the brunt of Corthel's assault. As the final words of the incantation were uttered, Corthel let out an otherworldly scream of agony and fury. The forest roared in response, and a blinding light erupted from the Guardian's sacrifice. In a cataclysmic burst, Corthel was banished back to the abyss from whence he came, his malevolence severed from the mortal realm. The Guardian, however, was forever changed. Their form bore the scars of the ritual, and they had sacrificed their own connection to the mortal realm. They became a spectral guardian of Ravenswood, eternally vigilant against the return of any demonic force. The town of Ravenswood had once again been saved, but at a great cost. The legend of the king demon Corthel joined the dark annals of their history, a chilling reminder of the eternal battle between light and darkness, and the sacrifices required to keep the forces of evil at bay. Generations passed in Ravenswood, and the memory of the sacrifice made by their spectral guardian slowly faded into legend. The town thrived, its people living in relative peace, their daily lives untouched by the horrors of the past. But as time marched on, a sense of complacency settled in, and the tales of demons and dark rituals became bedtime stories rather than warnings. Little did they know that the forces of darkness are patient, and Corthel, the king demon, bided his time in the abyss, nursing his hatred and plotting his return to the mortal realm. One fateful night, when the moon hung low and the winds whispered sinister secrets, a stranger arrived in Ravenswood. This traveler, clad in tattered robes and a hood that concealed their face, went by the name of Ve'elikar, and their arrival brought with it an aura of malevolence that sent shivers down the spines of the townsfolk. Ve'elikar's purpose was clear: to resurrect Corthel and unleash his reign of terror upon Ravenswood. Armed with ancient, forbidden knowledge and dark incantations, Ve'elikar began to sow the seeds of chaos within the town. Crops withered, rivers ran black, and the forest itself seemed to recoil at the presence of this new malevolence. The descendants of the Guardians who had thwarted Corthel's previous attempt to invade Ravenswood sensed the impending threat. They recognized the signs of darkness returning and understood that they could not afford to underestimate it again. Gathering their knowledge and the fragments of the Cursed Tome, they embarked on a perilous quest to discover a way to counter Ve'elikar's dark magic. The path they tread was fraught with danger, as they navigated treacherous terrain and encountered eerie, otherworldly creatures that sought to thwart their progress. But their determination and unity remained unshaken. During their journey, the Guardians uncovered a long-forgotten prophecy, an ancient scroll that foretold of a celestial weapon, forged by the gods themselves, capable of vanquishing even the most powerful of demons. To wield such a weapon, however, they would have to travel to the farthest reaches of the mortal realm and seek the blessings of the celestial beings who had created it. The journey was grueling, and they faced trials that tested their resolve. Yet, they pressed on, guided by visions and the echoes of the prophecy. Back in Ravenswood, the darkness cast by Ve'elikar continued to deepen. The townspeople lived in fear, their hearts heavy with dread. They longed for the return of their spectral guardian, the one who had once protected them from the king demon's malevolence. The Guardians, having traveled to the ends of the earth and endured unimaginable challenges, finally reached the celestial realm. There, they beseeched the gods for the celestial weapon, invoking the ancient prophecy. The gods, recognizing the grave threat that Corthel posed to both mortals and the divine, granted their request. Armed with the celestial weapon, the Guardians returned to Ravenswood, where the battle against Ve'elikar had reached its climax. The town's very existence hung in the balance as Ve'elikar attempted to open a portal to the abyss, intent on summoning Corthel into the mortal realm once more. The Guardians, their spirits unyielding, confronted Ve'elikar. A cataclysmic battle of magic and wills erupted, with the celestial weapon proving to be their trump card. The very heavens rumbled as they unleashed its power, banishing Ve'elikar and severing his connection to Corthel. The town of Ravenswood was saved once again, but the cost was great. The Guardians, having wielded the celestial weapon, were forever bound to the celestial realm, their mortal lives sacrificed to protect their town. The memory of Corthel's malevolence and the sacrifices made to protect Ravenswood lived on as a solemn reminder to all who dwelled there. A reminder that darkness could never truly be vanquished, only kept at bay through eternal vigilance and unwavering courage. With the malevolent threat of Corthel and Ve'elikar vanquished, Ravenswood experienced a period of respite and renewal. The town flourished once more, its people living in harmony with the rejuvenated forest and rivers. The memory of the sacrifices made by the Guardians and the spectral Guardian who now protected them served as a source of inspiration and a solemn reminder of the eternal battle against darkness. Years turned into decades, and Ravenswood's history evolved into a blend of myth and reality. The celestial weapon remained safely tucked away, a relic of immense power guarded by the descendants of the original Guardians who had forged it. They vowed to keep its secrets hidden, lest it ever fell into the wrong hands. Yet, the dark forces of the abyss were persistent, and the demonic realm knew no bounds of time. Deep within the shadows, Corthel nursed his hatred and plotted his revenge. His connection to the mortal realm may have been severed, but he was patient, and he knew that an opportunity would arise. One day, a stranger arrived in Ravenswood, just as Vaelakar had many years before. This newcomer, a sorcerer named Thalrak, had come to the town seeking the power of the celestial weapon, believing it to be the key to restoring his own lost dominion in the abyss. Thalrak's dark magic sent ripples of unease throughout Ravenswood. Crops withered, animals grew restless, and ominous omens appeared in the night sky. The descendants of the Guardians recognized the signs all too well and knew that they must act swiftly to prevent history from repeating itself. Gathering their knowledge and the fragments of the cursed tome once again, they embarked on a quest to uncover a way to counter Thalrak's dark sorcery. This time, they sought not only to defend their town but to put an end to the demonic menace once and for all. Their journey led them to forgotten realms and perilous encounters, as they delved deeper into the ancient lore that surrounded their town. Along the way, they discovered an ancient prophecy, one that spoke of a chosen one, a hero from among the descendants, destined to confront the forces of darkness and prevent the return of Corthel. Back in Ravenswood, the darkness cast by Thalrak continued to deepen. The townspeople lived in fear once more, their hearts heavy with dread. They yearned for the return of a protector, a guardian who could stand against the encroaching malevolence. The descendants of the Guardians, guided by the prophecy, realized that one among them must embrace their destiny. One of their own must rise to confront Thalrak and protect Ravenswood from the imminent threat. The Chosen One, a young and courageous descendant named Alara, stepped forward, accepting the mantle of her destiny. Armed with the knowledge passed down through generations and the support of her fellow townsfolk, she set out to confront Thalrak and his dark sorcery. The final battle between Alara and Thalrak raged like a tempest. Dark and light clashed in a dazzling display of magic and willpower. Alara's determination, fueled by the memory of her ancestors and the fate of her town, proved unwavering. In the end, it was the power of unity and the unwavering spirit of Ravenswood that triumphed. Thalrak's dark magic was no match for the combined strength of the town's residents, who had rallied behind Alara. With a final, mighty surge of magic, they banished Thalrak back to the abyss, sealing him away for eternity. Ravenswood was saved once more, thanks to the courage of the Chosen One and the unity of its people. The memory of the king demon Corthel and the threats he had spawned lived on as a somber reminder. A reminder that darkness would forever seek to encroach upon the light. But as long as there were heroes and unity, the town of Ravenswood would endure, a beacon of hope in a world where the battle against evil never truly ends. Thank you so much for watching, Unveiling the Secrets of the Celestial Weapon. A hero's journey to defeat demons. If you enjoyed this thrilling tale of bravery and darkness, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up by hitting that like button. And if you want to stay updated with more exciting stories and content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Your support means the world to us, and it keeps us motivated to bring you more captivating content. Once again, thank you for joining us today, and we can't wait to see you on the next epic journey. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more exciting content like this, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell to stay updated with all our upcoming adventures. If you found this story captivating and think others will too, please consider sharing it with your friends and family. Sharing is caring, and your support helps us grow and create even more amazing content for you. Once again, thank you for being a part of our community. We truly appreciate your support, and we can't wait to see you on the next thrilling adventure. Until then, keep exploring and keep sharing the love.